That's actually an excellent question that you asked. What is genetics? Well, genetics is the makeup of the human body. It's what makes our body from the inside and from the outside. And that makeup includes the color, for example, the color of our eyes, the color of our hair, facial hair that we might have, how our body functions from the inside, how big or small our organs are, how we react to medicine, allergies, and millions of other things. Our body is basically run by genetics. And what influences genetics? What things affect genetics or the way we are? There's three main things that we know today that affect genetics. Number one is background. So who your grandparents are, your parents are, aunts and uncles, what diseases they might be carrying, what genetics code they might be carrying, and the other things that they might have. And genetic, when we're talking about background, this genetic background or things you might be carrying are over generations. So, for example, let's say your grandparents have diabetes. They might have got second type of diabetes, which is diabetes due to the lifestyle. But then their parents might have had the same issue. They might have had second type of diabetes, again through lifestyle. But as that chain gets up and it gets to you, that original diabetes switched to the first one, which is the one carried by genetics. So we're switching from one that's caused by lifestyle and slowly coming up to a genetic caused diabetes. And that genetic caused diabetes might be present. There's a chance that it's going to be in you. There's a chance that it's not. But if it doesn't appear in you, so you don't have diabetes, you might have the code. And what does that mean? That means that your kids, for example, have a chance of getting that diabetes. And again, as later on in the generations, if it doesn't appear through a couple generations, it slowly disappears. So that's the background. So we're getting it from family members. The other thing that influences genetics is environment. And the way we look at that is, we've noticed a trend that people that do live near or around the equator, which is usually very hot areas, tend to have darker skin. So our genetics fluctuate or adjust to suit the environment we're living in. So they adapt. And in order for us humans to sustain life or to have life in any place in the world, or any place at all, we need to be able to adapt and change to the environment. And the last thing that we've just noticed in the past couple of years about genetics is that bacteria and viruses also have an effect on genetics. And sometimes genetics are just affected randomly for absolutely no reason. For example, when we look at cancer, cancer is a fluctuating or a change in a portion of the code. So the cell is usually told to reproduce when it needs to and then stop. Then reproduce again when it needs to and then stop. But when that genetic code gets messed up and that part where it tells it to stop is removed, keeps reproducing, and slowly we have a tumor. An area that has no function, that doesn't do anything, and yet it needs energy to survive, it needs food. And that's what cancer is. So that's an excellent thing. Again, the three things that affect genetics are first background, environment, and then bacteria, viruses, or just randomly.